There is an attack on the Muslims. No, like seriously. I feel like this enemy is so powerful. If we really don't do anything about it, I believe that we might be in really big trouble here. Which is why I decided to do some in-depth research to what our enemies are really up to. What are their motives and what do they really want to achieve with their goals? Yeah, honestly, from what I see from their motive, they just want mind control, or they just want world control. You see, these people that I'm speaking out here about here, they actually believe that their type of people, like their specific group, is superior to any other group, which is why they have placed certain mindsets and certain ideologies within society in order to make them weak enough so they don't resist these people. What that will do is it will give them the power to be the strongest out of all of society. This is a psychological war. First is the woke mind virus that has been planted by our enemies to make society deliberately weak. And clearly, due to feminism and all this random LGBT BS that's going on, they have purposely put them in society to make the people weaker, specifically targeting the men. The men. The men, yes. When you target the men and you make them weak, that's when you can pretty much manipulate all of society, because men are typically free thinkers. They're the ones who can resist, manipulation, because we're not really emotionally attached. But when you make the men emotionally weak, that's when you can start manipulating society as a whole. As we can clearly see from the marriage rates, the birth rates, to all the rates, the depression rates and everything, society is becoming so much worse. Everyone is becoming weaker. Testosterone is going down. Women have been the most depressive ever been. Men have been the most depressive ever been. Everything is broken. Society is broken. Society is finally cracking. And that's what we're seeing today. And the second way they manipulate society is by giving society instant pleasure. So society can escape their miserable realities and forget about them for a short time, just enough to the point where society doesn't complain about where they are and how they're being manipulated. And we can see nowadays that humans barely have this thing called purpose, which proves that we humans just kind of float through life and just entertain ourselves to death. You see, humans nowadays are just too concerned with video games, pornography, and social media, and that is basically what caused us to have zero purpose. Now we humans have nothing to strive for and nothing to achieve because we're also distracted by social media. What a lot of us don't realize is that most religions and most races have sold out to these pagans, as I call them. This is why they want to deliberately destroy us Muslims, because they know that we're the only people capable of actually destroying their ideology. As I mentioned, every other religion slash race, most of them sold out to the pagans, as we call them. But what they can't seem to wrap their head around is the fact that Islam is like a plague. And when the truth enters the hearts of society, let me tell you, Islam spreads like wildfire. What us Muslims don't comprehend is that we actually have something that others don't. We have the truth. You see, Islam is a medicine to every single problem in the world right now. And if Allah wills, it will literally fix every problem. And with that comes the Islamic identity. You see, being a Muslim is not just saying I'm a Muslim and that's it. No, being a Muslim means to have a specific identity that follows through with that. You see, as I mentioned, Islam is the truth, which means that we are the only people capable of destroying our enemies, and I call them the pagans. But what most people don't understand is that this is legitimately destroying the Muslim Ummah, because instant gratification is going into the Ummah, right? You see most of the men in the Ummah, especially our age, they're always scrolling, they're playing video games, they're playing Roblox, they're doing random stuff that really provide no value and does not make them any of a better person. And what that essentially does is it destroys their testosterone, it destroys their level of working hard, it makes them lazy, it makes them depressed, it makes them underachieved. And this is what destroys the mental health of the Muslim men. And when the mental health is destroyed, that's when we're not strong anymore. That's when we're fragile. That's when we're weak. And that's essentially what's going on. Because we have no purpose, we resort to video games to find that purpose, because that's the only place that we can somewhat level up in life. But we're not leveling up in real life. We're not getting stronger in real life. We're not being happy in real life. In real life, we're sad, we're depressed. We live in a society. We live in our rooms. We have nothing, really achieved in life. And so we resort to video games for that. We resort to scrolling for that. We resort to instant gratification. But that makes us weaker, is physically and mentally. The Muslim men, there's a direct attack on humanity, but this is also infiltrating the Muslims and the Muslim women as well. You guys are being infiltrated by social media. People are brainwashing you guys as well. And it's very, very scary to come to this. Okay, we understand that there's an attack on the Muslims and the Muslims are becoming so much weaker. But what is the solution for all of this? Well, the solution is just to adopt the Muslim identity that we already have. You may not realize it, but being a Muslim is more than just fasting in Ramadan or praying. Being a Muslim is to be the best versions of ourselves, and it's the epitome of self-improvement. It's like the most disciplined you can ever get in a good way. You see, being a Muslim means to delay our gratification, which is the essential mindset in order to become successful in anything. You see, nothing good comes quick and easy, and delayed gratification is that. Delayed gratification is when you do the hard work right now for months and months later, then you finally get the reward for it. For example, studying for your test, or for example, going to the gym. You see, this doesn't come in a few days, not to boast. You see, for all this time, we've been doing the bad habits, and that is what you call instant gratification. So bad habits give you like instant pleasure right away, but a few hours from now or a few days from now, we will feel the effects of that. We will be lazier, we will procrastinate, we will be more of a loser, right? We've been doing instant gratification, and our enemy wants us to do instant gratification every single day and to chase temporary pleasure instead of working hard and achieving something, because our enemy doesn't want us to work hard. Like, this is so clear. And so the key is to stop the instant gratification, or at least reduce it, and increase our delayed gratification. You see, being a Muslim means to do everything perfectly or as good as you can. To do everything excellently is to never waste time, because it is disliked in Islam to waste time. You see, being a Muslim means to be on your purpose and to use every single time possible in order to progress and become a better version of ourselves. So the key is, I don't want to just give you random hacks every single day to do, because I want you to really adopt this identity of delayed gratification, which means that instead of just giving you this productivity hack and that productivity hack, what I want to give you is exactly to do delayed gratification. So if we have the choice of eating junk food and having healthy food, we're going to practice delayed gratification, because we know that our future selves will be affected if we eat bad food. If we have the option of staying late and just staying up very late and doing random stuff, just wasting time, we're not going to do that, because delayed gratification tells us to not waste time. We're going to rather sleep early so our future selves on the next morning can wake up early and be productive. If we just be a good Muslim, that will automatically fix most of the issues of our life. Being the best Muslim, having ihsan, following the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ will pretty much help us with that. It will destroy these limiting beliefs, and it will pretty much make us more of a productive person. You see, our enemy's biggest nightmare is to see us become the best versions of ourselves, because that's when we become a threat. And that's why we need to become the best versions of ourselves, so we can help the people of Palestine, so we can destroy these people. You see, Muslims need to be the elites of the world, as we have to be, right? We need to have the power so we can bring justice and peace to this world. And honestly, Muslims, we are the chosen people to enter Jannah. So we need to share this to others. We need to be role models for others. We need to be role models for our families. Doing this and delaying gratification is what makes us men, especially men, more mature, more better, and just more desirable to have a wife, to have kids, to be stronger, to be successful. That is what we want to be. We want to be the best versions of ourselves. And the way that we can do that is to first embrace this mindset of delayed gratification. Okay? And so what I want to leave you off with this video is, do not waste time. Always remember to delay our gratification, to stay disciplined, to do the right things, especially when you don't feel like doing them. And we're not going to regret it. And that's what I want to tell you in this video. Assalamu alaikum. I love you. Bye.